Why do you hate me? Hey guys, I'm trying to get the message out about my phone call. I'm trying to get my phone call declassified. This is the phone call I made to a talkback radio show, and I made this phone call all about war and how there was going to be a war. I laid my life on the line. Gave it everything I had, predicted suffering. I finished the call by voicing a gleam in my eye. The whole call lasted about probably 40 seconds. And then 2 days later, the planes hit the buildings. So I'm trying to get a copy. I'm trying to get awareness of this phone call. It's been classified. And I'm trying to get it declassified. I'm trying to get a copy of it. It'll do 20 million hits in its first few days, you know. It'll be that popular. So if you could tweet to Donnie Trump, tweet at Donnie Trump and my name, Darcy Lee 78. That's one way we can raise awareness. This phone call, man, 20 million hits in its first few days if I get a copy of it. It'll be very popular. It'll get me a house, you know, and I'll become worldwide famous. Overnight, sort of thing. There we go. There's Nightbot. Quite warm today. I'm changing your history here. We're making history and changing history here. Trying to get a copy of my phone call. Need a lawyer or something. Can't afford a lawyer. All these things people get sued for, you know. And yet I can't sue. I can't afford to sue myself in New Zealand. I should be able to sue, you know. Hi Eli Zepeda. This is me trying to get knowledge about this phone call that I made. I'm trying to get a copy of this phone call that I made. It'll be like 20 million hits overnight in 2-3 days. 20 million hits, you know. And it's been classified. The phone call, it was all about war and suffering and how there was going to be a war. It was about 40 seconds long, and I laid my life on the line. I gave it everything I had, all about war. Finished the call by voicing a gleam in my eye, and then 2 days later the planes hit the buildings. This is me trying to get a copy of that phone call. I'm also changing your history and making history. I'm a famous person. You just don't know it yet. I hate everything about you. Why do I love you? You hate, I hate, you love me. So yeah, I'm trying to get a copy of this phone call that I made. I'd be famous overnight if I got a copy of this phone call. So this is me trying to get a copy of my phone call. I want my phone call. Game with Dom. This is me trying to get a phone call that I made to a live talkback radio show all about war and how there was going to be a war and suffering, and I gave it everything I had. I finished the call by voicing a gleam in my eye. The whole call lasted about 40 seconds on live talkback radio, and then 2 days later the planes hit the buildings. So this is me trying to get a copy of that phone call, which has been classified. It was 16 years ago. It should be on the internet. Should have been on the internet a long time ago. It's very important. Now you can either believe me or you can just pass on through, you know. But you'll regret passing on through. It's also changing history, making history. I'm changing your history. If I wasn't streaming, then you wouldn't have clicked the link. So by me streaming, I've changed your history because you've seen my link and you've clicked my link. So I've changed your history. Now hopefully it's for the better. There's the Nightbot Q. He's just a bot. But yeah, I made this phone call about all about war and how there was going to be a war. I laid my life on the line. I predicted suffering. Gave it everything I had. Finished the call by voicing a gleam in my eye. Then 2 days later, the planes hit the buildings. If I got a copy of that phone call, it'd be 20 million hits in 3 days. Oh, 5 people watching. Nice. So this is me trying to get a copy of that phone call. You hate everything about me. Why do you love me? You hate, I hate, you love me. I'm trying to get a copy of this phone call that I made. All about war, all about suffering. I laid my life on the line, gave it everything I had, and then 2 days later the planes hit the buildings. I'm trying to get a copy of this phone call, which has been classified. It'd get 20 million hits in 3 days or something, you know? And that'd be a house for me. So yeah, I'm trying to get a copy of this phone call, and I need to make as much noise about it as possible so we can get a copy of it, so it can get released to the world. We need to make heaps of noise, guys. Got to make heaps of noise. Make some noise. I go. Hey Andrew. So we're trying to get a copy of this phone call, guys. We've got to make a lot of noise and get a copy of this phone call so we can get it on YouTube. Get it declassified. Hey Christy. Hey Luigi Plush Gaming. So guys, I made this phone call and it was all about war and how there was going to be a war, and then I laid my life on the line, gave it everything I had, predicted suffering, finished the call by voicing a gleam in my eye, and then 2 days later the planes hit the buildings. So this stream is about getting a copy of that phone call and releasing it to YouTube. We've got to make heaps of noise, guys. I made a phone call to a live talkback radio show here in New Zealand during prime time at night. All about war and how there's going to be a war. Laid my life on the line, predicted suffering. You have to really hear the call to understand its importance, but it is very important and it's been classified. And I'm trying to get a copy of it so I can get it on YouTube and we can start talking about it and its implications. Gotta make some noise, guys. Make some noise. Well, I said the thing. Oh, I said they don't think 3 times in a row, and each time the host interjected with something. So I was like, they don't think. Then the host spoke. They don't think. Then the host spoke. Then they don't think. And then on the third, they don't think. The host thought I was talking about her. And then I said the thing. And then I was like, war. And then I was like, I can't remember after that. I thought that's when I predicted suffering and laid my life on the line after that. But I can't remember the exact words I used. I laid my life on the line and gave it everything I had to sort of say there was going to be a war, and then 2 days later the planes hit the buildings. You really have to hear the call. It is very important. It's very important. I know it's crazy, but it is very important. This phone call will get 20 million hits in a few days. That's how impressive it'll be. It'll hit 20 million hits in a few days. It'll be very popular on YouTube. So we have to get a copy. It's been classified. Only when I stop to think about it, I hate everything about you. Yes, it is very important. It has implications for 9/11. It has implications, and it'll open up new areas of discussion and stuff, and new theories. You have to really hear it though, to sort of, just to get the full impact of it, you know, the full importance. I can reenact it, but only so much, and it's not the same, you know. You really got to hear it. But it's been, like I said, it's been classified, and we're trying to get it declassified. I can't afford a lawyer. If I had a lawyer, I'd take them to court, you know, and I'd get a copy of this phone call. I can get 20 million hits in a few days with this phone call. And that would be a house, you know, that'd be 100 grand or something. That'd be a house. Hey guys, if you're out there, I'm trying to get a copy of this phone call that I made 2 days before 9/11, all about war and how there was going to be a war. I laid my life on the line and gave it everything I had. Finished the call by voicing a gleam in my eye, and then 2 days later the planes hit the buildings. The phone call's been classified. Hey Sergeant Gaming, I've been really depressed, all about this phone call and stuff, and you know, I just haven't been streaming. Haven't streamed for about 2 weeks or something. I've had no resources, no smokes, no weed, so that makes it really hard to stream. You know, I've got to have smokes and weed to be able to stream. Hey Antonio. I spoke it. I think I said something. I laid my life on the line or something. I said it like that. I said I laid my life on the line or something. Yeah. I spoke it. Because I'm an addict. Hi Vibin089. I'm trying to give up smoking. I'm taking this pill, but I bought one packet and make this packet my last packet. I'm taking this pill. I wanted to get one more packet before I try and quit. Weed definitely, it just, yeah, weed, like if you're straight and you have a sesh, it just like, it slows everything down. Everything's not so fast, and you're not so stressed and stuff. It takes your mind to other places. I'm good, thank you, Vibin. Hey guys, I made this phone call all about war and how there was going to be a war. I laid my life on the line, gave it everything I had, finished the call by voicing a gleam in my eye, and then 2 days later the planes hit the buildings. So I'm trying to get a copy of this phone call. It would get 20 million hits on YouTube in like 3-4 days, maybe a week or something. 20 million hits. Zyban. The name of the pill is Zyban. Yeah, so guys, we're trying to get people's awareness about this phone call that I made so we can get it declassified. This phone call I made 2 days before September 11, all about war and how there was going to be a war on Talkback Radio. It's been classified. Otherwise it would be on YouTube. It still exists because it was very important. It was like a Mona Lisa. It was like a piece of a very important phone call, you know, and you just don't destroy something that's very important. It was very important. In lieu of the planes hitting the buildings, you know. Eight people viewing, guys. So yeah, we're trying to get a copy of this phone call. And we have to get awareness about it. And you're going to be my workers. We have to sort of make some noise about it. I got no problem with Arabs. I got a problem with Americans about classifying this phone call. Got a problem with the White House. Not with Americans, but with the White House. Got a problem with the White House. So yeah, we're trying to get a copy of this phone call. It should be, it'll set the world alight, you know. The whole world will talk about 9/11 again for a brief period of time. 20 million hits in a few days. $20 million hits. Yeah. Yeah, but this phone call will. It'll bring up new areas of investigation. New conspiracy theories and things like that. It's like evidence. That's why it's been classified. Because it incriminates people. Well, from the phone call I rang back after the planes hit the buildings and I asked for a reward. I asked that they make songs by famous artists out of further phone calls that I made to the talkback station. That was the reward I asked for. And I asked for Eminem by name. So now the songs Without Me and Lose Yourself include words that I first spoke over talkback air. That was the reward that I got. But no one knows about this, so it's not much of a reward, you know. It's kind of useless. I still live in poverty and things like that. A lot of people put this down to schizophrenia, but I'm talking the truth, you know. This is the truth. I've just got a problem with the governments of... I don't really have a problem with the people. I have a problem with government authorities around the world. Government authorities around the world. And they're very fascist. This phone call should have been on YouTube a long time ago. And we should have been discussing this a long time ago. I asked for the phone call, for the first phone call that I made after the planes hit the buildings. I asked for a reward for that phone call. I asked for a reward, and I asked that they make songs by famous artists out of further phone calls that I made to the talkback station. So Eminem got some of his lyrics from these phone calls that I made, and it was a reward for making that first phone call where I predicted war. I say ban all the guns. I don't think guns are for killing. Hang on, someone at the door. What's up? Nah. He's still asleep. Yeah.
Come back from court dust.
Oh, okay.
Been up for you all day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You go up, did you?
Yeah.
What for?
Trespass.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Oh, do you
Oh,
want
hang
there
on.
it is, eh? It's next, eh?
Oh, if you got all contact. I haven't got his new number. I think you've got a new number. I'll try that one. Yeah, it's ringing. No, I don't hear that. It's ringing right now. Yeah, check.
Check. Check, brother. Hey. Where are you? Are you at home? Oh, hey. Oh, hey. Oh, hey. No, I just called you. I just got back from court. Yeah. Hey. Oh, what are you up to? The same as me. Oh, gee. Oh, you sleep? Oh, you? Ah, good cousin. I'll keep when you up here. I'll see you later. See you later.
These governments are behaving criminally, keeping this phone call secret. It's criminal. These governments are acting criminally, you know? And we got to do something about it. Hey, Jacob. Yeah, these governments are criminal. Nah, no hunting, ban hunting. Be a conservationist, let the animals live, you know? It's not like you need the food or anything, you can just go to a supermarket. Hunting was for when there was no supermarkets, you know? No guns for hunting, just no guns whatsoever. Ban every single one of them. No guns at all. So you guys were trying to get a copy of this phone call that I made 2 days before September 11. It's been classified. It'll hit 20 million hits in a few days once it goes on YouTube. Just farm the animals. You don't need to hunt them. Just farm them. Put them on farms and stuff. Just farm them and let the wild ones go free. You don't hunt. The supermarkets don't hunt to get their meat and stuff. They farm it. They get it from farms. Life's pretty hard in the wild too, mate. I wouldn't say anyone in the wild's got it easy. You know, they got to forage for food all the time. Farm animals have it pretty good, I reckon, compared to wild animals. I live in a cardboard box, Max 212. This is a cardboard box. So you guys, we're trying to get a copy of this phone call that I made 2 days before September 11, all about war and how there was going to be a war, where I laid my life on the line and predicted suffering, gave it everything I had. Finished the call by voicing a gleam in my eye, and then 2 days later the planes hit the buildings. So we're trying to get a copy, we're trying to get a buzz out about this phone call, so we can get it on the internet, get it on YouTube, you know? I just voiced it. I spoke it. I said I lay my life on the line. Well, we need to get a copy of this phone call, and then you'll understand. Once we get a copy, we've got to get a buzz out about this phone call. It was 2 days before September 11, and once you hear it, you'll go, oh my God. That's so cool. I even made a defense, you know. I made an aggressive attacking and defending stance. 2 days before September 11. Aggressive, attacking, aggressive, and defending aggressive. Attacking and defending aggressive stance, you know. 2 days before September 11. So we're trying to get a copy of this phone call. Yeah, make fun of me, go on. I'm serious, I'm quite serious. This phone call is very important. Thank you, Max212. I'll check my Twitter account and see what Twitters we've got. See if Max212's tweeted. Twitter.com. Here we go. Notifications. 3 notifications. We've got 4 new followers. Yeah, Antonio Kinsler sent a tweet. And Amanda Vella. Just got a few likes. Got Emil Cook and Amanda Vella both liked the tweet that I was mentioned in. And Dawn Fraser. Liked the reply that I was mentioned in. And we've got Ryan Folland. He followed me. Bart Baker. He's got 1.44 million followers. Wow. Bart Baker. But he's following 368k. E-Media World. 192k. Yeah, so we got some big followers. Anyway, that's my biggest follower ever, to have 1.44 million followers. Bart Baker, and he's got a tick. He's even got authenticated. I don't know who Bart Baker is, but he's authenticated. I know if I gave up weed, I could have heaps of money, but it's just an addiction I've had for 20 years, you know. I'm 39. I thought you were leaving, Max. Oh no, that was, who was Max? Was it Max? Yeah, I thought you were leaving, Max. Only when I stop to think about you. Phone call. On YouTube. Phone call on YouTube. Hey, you, hey. I like Linkin Park. Linkin Park was my favourite. Chester Bennington, rip. He just died, committed suicide.